Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Overview. Again, I'm with the lovely Hayzer, and yeah, what up?
Hello, I'm the I'm the trophy girl of the series. So yeah, I'm the pretty face.
So this is gonna be, yeah, this is gonna be the second game against NRG Esports of our first set of the season. And again, just to give you a quick breakdown overview, we just take where in hindsight was really from the support perspective. In overview, we watch it from the caster perspective or whatever, and we just talk about what happened. So let's go into the game because a lot of stuff happens right here. We have Rafa proxying the wave, Jimmy trying to solo his red buff and stuff like this happening. So
Yeah, this is interesting here. So we recognize that Raffer's on the solo side of the map, and we think that that means Emil might want to try and do a buff off the start. It seems like you and Nate had a bit of a breakdown in communication there on which buff to start at, but it ends up fine in the end. We get some of the side minions on their purple and red, and just go off to farm. On the other side of the map, despite them starting so many people there, we decided to invade their blue and speed uh, instead of contesting ours because they had more people there, and they decided to just commit to invading our buffs and maybe instead of maybe sending someone back to defend their buffs, meaning that we didn't go too bad in farm, and on the duo side of the map, we got way ahead in terms of farm. Um, Basically meaning that the fact that they started so many people on solo side of the map gave us an advantage this game.
yeah, we're honestly ahead right now, right? Because we got the enemy speed, the blue, we got the gremlins as well, the fire giant imps. Plus we're getting the buffs on the enemy side. So this is just really good from us. It's what you want to do. Them them starting with Capri on the other side of the map didn't really work out because A, we recognized as I said, went for their buffs, and also in dual lane we avoided EmilZy being able to get the small minions off it. As Maniac is gonna die? Question mark.
Yeah, he does, I'm sure. He just played a bit too far up, didn't really respect the fact that adapting was on that side of the map, was hanging about in solo the whole time and ended up going down. Which can be rough for a Cabrakan early, but I think we just about get away with it here.
Yeah, if there's any lane you really want, if anyone has died, I don't think it's the worst thing if it's lane and dies rather than someone else. 'Cause just TP back, sure you lose the blue buff, kinda sucks a bit, but how it is sometimes.
Yeah, it's the only lane where you don't really lose too much farm for dying. Whereas if you die in mid or ADC or even support, it's tough to get the farm on the way back to lane that you would in solo because you just get to teleport straight to that tier 1 tower, obviously.
Talk to me a bit about the team comp we have here, right? What is our goal? Like how do we win this game? What do we have to do to win the team fights?
Okay, so basically the plan overall in this game is to have so we've got a very, very strong mid laner with a lot of pressure, a very, very strong solo laner with a lot of pressure, and a strong duo lane, which also has a lot of pressure, And then we have this jungler, Humbats, who's quite a weak character in the early game, which is an unusual pick in such an early game focused meta. Um, but because the rest of the team has such strong presence that they can just kind of carry the Humbats through that and then get us into these late game team fights where the Humbats will just create mayhem in their backline. It'll allow us to burst down their tanks. It'll stop the Khepri getting revives off. It's just a really nice pick into their comp in general. So that's basically our plan here is to get the Humbats into the late game, allow Humbats ult to just win us team fights.
So yeah, that's right. When we saw Nate trading out there, trading beats for beats, because the Capri rotated. Maybe he did not need to beat that, but he did it anyway. Just staying safe and staying a bit too safe is something you do in competitive games where you're a bit more likely to blow relics than you would be in a ranked game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Losing your beads, to stay alive is definitely worthwhile. As we see, we get the invade. Something you recognize here again is us looking for these invades on their speed consistently. Um, we got the speed here, but they continually get out very low here. I think the issue here was a bit of a difference in target selection. So we end up losing EmilZy, we end up losing Prime only for Rafa on the Khepri, and I'm sure Maniac goes down as well. So this actually turns out really badly for us. I would have liked to
Uh,
see us chill a bit after getting the invaded speed, but yeah, I don't know how you feel about that one, EmilZy.
that was really bad. I was trying to go in and pick up the low kills, but as you see, we do the best thing we can right here to make it even again. So like it's pretty much just the same. Like we're even in gold. I'm pretty sure the XP is the same. We went ahead and we did get the red buff. Sadly, the purple buffs get stolen away, but we take something. I think we got the speed buff as well. We take the speed buff. We take the red buff. This is us denying them farm. We still have our farm up. So it's not worst case. Worst case would have been if Nate would not have done that and we would not have gotten the speed buff, then that would have been an absolute disaster. But we still managed to, even in times of doubt, in times of trouble, we do manage to stay cool and just take our advantages they offer. That's something I think Attraction Nate is really good at, is like optimizing his farm with especially invading and knowing when to invade and not.
Yeah, another thing that you may not have noticed there at home is the Kabrakan's pathing, Maniac's pathing there, because he ran to behind their T2 tower, delaying them. Despite them killing 3 people on the solo side of the map, we still managed to secure our speed and our blue, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. They would have known they were coming up. The timers weren't delayed, you know, they were pretty normal timers. So they would have known they were coming up, but because they had to spend so long killing Maniac and chasing people down, they weren't able to take anything away, which means we actually got a fair amount of XP despite losing 3 people, which again, you know, offsets the loss we had there.
You see me playing really far up in the lane, just trying to force the relic, but again, NRG kind of recognizing what the game plan is now with Damateras, so they're gonna go ahead, say, okay, he's probably just gonna do that again. As Maniac, actually, this was an insane juke he had here, like juked the ult from adapting.
Yeah, lovely monkey teleport there from Twig. Knowing that Merc's beads were used in that last fight at the speed buff, knowing they were down, as soon as he got the monkey to him, he just teleported straight in, got the ult off, and Maniac was in there to clean up. It's just a really well calculated play, knowing the beads timers, knowing they're down, and knowing that you can guarantee the kill there.
So we talked a bit about our win condition, how it's about getting the Hunbats through. What does NRG need to do? Like they obviously have a bit lower pressure, or do they really with it? Now they have lower pressure but still decent clear. So what is NRG's objective here? What are they really looking for?
I think basically they want the Mercury to be able to come into a team fight and pick someone off, or come in and just pick someone off before a team fight even. So get the Mercury big, allow adapting to be adapting, and kill people. And then Yaman, obviously on that Vulcan, he's able to affect team fights quite heavily as well. But the two of them are high priority targets for us, so we're going to go hard on them. So at that point they have the Kepri around to try and revive whichever of their hard carries that we go on. So here you see us going on the Kepri to kind of offset that. He gets stunned for a long time, he manages to get his ult off on himself. And you actually saw the Vulcan ult there hitting, I think it was 2 people, but not really doing much damage. Why do you think that is, Nils?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I guess Vulcan that didn't have boots was a big part of it. Um, the helm does give a lot of power and pen anyway, but just it was a level 1 ult as well. We have to remember that. Like that was not a level 9 ult. That is like the Vulcan ult is pretty weak. It wasn't long range, max range. He didn't have the items he wanted. He didn't really have anything. So that was like pretty poor play from us. We should recognize that Hanbat's ult was down. We should have not taken that fight. Maybe we got a bit too eager to pick off Rafa, who was out of position, but manages to get out safely.
Yeah, he's managed to get his steel mail on at this point, so it's much harder for us to kill him. And here you see us kind of contesting. We contest the geoside mids here, which I think was a mistake from us without Twig being around. Twig gets a great monkey bounce off, switches targets beautifully. That was so good from him, turning on to the Vulcan and being able to kill him. Yaman doesn't use his beads there, he saves them, which I think was a smart decision by him. And then Raffer comes back in.
Bit
Kind of poor from him, I think, and we
bit
kill him.
weird.
Great axe from Nate, forces out Emil's beads. He's low. This means that we can go towards Gold Fury, you know, and we can definitely get those oracles, if not the Gold Fury itself, which is what we end up committing to.
Yeah, because how's a Mercury gonna run in the seal list from a Ula combo as used without his ult that was used as well? And I really wanna point out and stretch how well Prime plays his ult that time around, because I was dead if Prime would not have been there, but him placing the ult right down on top of me, getting 3 charges on all the 3 guys, the whole core of energy, just make sure that he gets full damage off. and then we rotate in from the jungler rotation and the ADC rotation.
Yeah, it basically zones them out from chasing you down as well
Mhm.
if placed correctly, which was another big factor in that ult. The Prime did really, really well.
Yeah, not much happening right now. We got a pretty decent. This is a really good scenario for us again. We are pretty far ahead. You know, talking about in the last video as well. Our lead right now is on the dual lane side of the map. We don't want to fight around the soul lane right now. They're pretty even. We have a 2-level lead on the Amaterasu. We have a 1-level lead. The dual lane is a strong mid game presence right here with the Ulan Amaterasu that does so well around this time right now. So we want to fight around that, but we do actually go ahead and say, okay, the speed bump is up. Can we maybe try and go for that? I can't remember if we actually end up getting. I don't think
No,
we
I
do.
think they secure it. Yeah, they secure it. We weren't quite in position in time, and Maniac goes for a bit of poke on Demi, gets pulled back, but I think we're gonna be all fine here. Yeah, I'm sure we get out of this. Do we?
Yeah.
I don't remember this too well. It was so
Nah,
long ago
this
now.
is it. This has been some
Oh,
time now.
oh, Yaman died.
Yeah,
I
I'm
guess
dead.
so. While they were focused on Maniac, we decided to dive in mid. Maniac ends up going down, but we're able to rotate it in at that point, and because they're already down a player in this fight, and they focused so much onto, our tanky target in the Kabrakan, we're able to just pick off the Herc with the Bat Ult and then go on to Raffer, who has to ult himself once more and then goes down.
So again, oh, I think that was just a Zeus combo if I remember correctly. Yaman playing a bit too far, getting bounced off the turret, and he just died from my 2 and the Vulcan, the Zeus damage. And Zeus with Amaterasu is pretty naughty as well. Just being able to increase Zeus' survivability with his with the increased movement speed and increasing his damage even more than he already does. Even when he has a tanky build like he's opting for right now, it just works out so well with the gods like this Amaterasu. And I think we just drafted a comp that really brings the weaknesses that the different gods have and really fit very well together with like we have the big AoE ultimates, we have the nice front line, we have a good peel, we have good survivability overall on it.
Yeah, definitely. I think some of the picks, some of the picks we picked, kind of make up for Amaterasu's lack of CC outside of her ultimate. Some of the picks make up for Bats' lack of pressure. Some of the picks make up for the fact that Zeus is going to get dived in the backline. Yeah, it's a lot of cohesion between these picks, and I think it was one of our better drafts throughout the season.
And so many people, oh, as we killed him here, just absolutely demolished by the Amaterasu aura. But I just swapped it. I was not for that. But Amy aura, the ults working out really well. Gonna commit to the tower. Maybe right here is a mistake that we should have helped Twig. I think he's actually gonna go ahead and die for it. Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
he
It was
was
a good
dead.
ult by Yaman.
He
Yeah.
was dead regardless, though, but pretty good ult. Again, gonna try and run out. I actually think me and Maniac are gonna fight this. This is something me and Maniac likes to do a lot. It's honestly fighting our usually ends up the worst for Joe. I don't get my meta off and he dies as well, although I die? I really die. Yeah, I die. But that's obviously a misplay. Look at mid tower and nothing crazy happens. And dual lane, as always, is farming right now. So as you can see, they actually have a decent lead, or kills at least, I want to say. And the kills are actually pretty even right now, but as you can see, we've just gotten a gold through, we've gotten the objectives, gotten the buff, so it works out so much.
Absolutely, yeah. The golden XP lead I think we have here is largely from that one portal demon we picked up and the gold fury. So that really shows how important. Oftentimes, I feel like getting objectives off the map is more important than picking up kills. If you can pick up kills like NRG did this game, but not really do anything off of it, you're gonna struggle. I mean, out of the 8 kills they've gotten, have they managed to invade a buff? I'm not sure. I think they've gotten one tier 1 tower, and that's about it. So their positioning and timing of the kills they got, and the fact that they weren't able to take advantage of them, really allowed us to, despite not necessarily outplaying them in every team fight, still be ahead due to our superior farm.
So that plan right now of getting the Merc ahead works really well for them, but our plan of getting the Hunbats into the game works really well for us as well. So I think we can agree that you would rather have a Hunbats from ahead in it fight than a Mercury from ahead, even though they're very, very even. Unmatched just brings the ult and the consistent damage, where Mercury's damage is more avoidable, especially with the speed of Amaterasu.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a lot easier to peel a Mercury off of your backline.
Yeah.
Whereas trying to peel a Humbats, I mean, you go anywhere near the player that the Humbats is going on, and you're going to get Fear No Evil'd, you're going to be CC'd as well, and you're going to be unable to help them out and maybe lose a big chunk of health due to how big the Humbats is. So yeah, it's definitely easier to peel a fed Mercury off of your team in a team fight, whereas a fed Humbats, he's just going to kill you as well.
And as you see right now, give a bit of a sellout. The Raffers going for the Thebes after the sovereignty. I just made a video on that explaining why you probably want to get the Thebes first. So there's gonna be a link to that in the description. So go ahead and check that out as we do the gold theory.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out that. So you see the Gold Fury here. This is actually a really interesting fight, I think. So you see Adapting go straight into our backline. We turn straight away, preventing him from doing anything in the backline. And then when he comes back in from the back, we chase forward, not turning around onto him, not allowing him to be in the fight, and letting us chase them down without their fed jungler making any impact on that fight whatsoever. And Dimi comes in with the late rotation, and that was a really good beads by Twig to survive, and we bring him down as well. So I'd say overall what won us that fight was just the fact that we stayed grouped as 5. We didn't allow the Mercury to do what he wants to do in picking individual players off. And then we managed to chase them down when we had the advantage and make sure that we pressed that advantage, not allowing them, to reset the fight.
We're gonna go. I thought we were gonna go fire. Are we going fire? Are we going portal? Right? Nope. We're gonna go ahead and start off the fire giant.
You can tell these games were a while ago, right?
Yeah, I don't know what. Hopefully we're gonna go ahead and reset this. Right?
I think we do, yeah.
Yeah, and
I
get the
believe we
portal
do.
instead.
Oh no, is this not when? This is when Twig was muted.
Oh yeah. Oh, this was fun actually. Oh, it wasn't, was it? I'm almost dying to the portal demon.
Yeah.
The complete fiesta.
So during this fight, I noticed that Twig hadn't said anything for about 30 seconds or something, and I jumped into comms and I was like, "Yo, Twig, are you muted, by the way?" And he was like, "Oh, sugar, I am muted. I can't believe this." He was like shouting that he was gonna ult the fire and stuff for us to secure it. But in the end, we kill Adapting and Raffer, who are the first two there. We secure the FG in a very risky manner,
Yeah.
but we do end up getting it and managing to get out, only losing Maniac, which is absolutely fine.
I think the initial thought, right, is that you want to hunt ult the fire giant so you get it. Which we do end up happening, and I remember I was screaming, Hunt ult it, and Vic said he as well after the game that he was calling I'm gonna Hunt ult it, so at least we were on the same page. But it was
Comms,
yeah, it was a risky play. I would much rather have liked to see us go for what's it called, for see us going for the portal demon, and then maybe gone back and done the gold fear, done the fight, and it ends up working out really well for us because we get the fight in. But that was definitely a throw right there where we could have lost the game if they would have came in and wiped us, steal the fire giant, stole the fire giant, gotten the two objectives that were still up, which were portal demon, gold fuse, and they would have just been even at that point. And we're pushing with FG.
Absolutely. There's games like this tend to be, you know how we mentioned, I think we mentioned last episode that I don't feel you ever have a flawless game. Maybe I did, maybe that was outside of game. But anyway, you never have a flawless game. There's always these little mistakes you make that are potential throws. Even if you're really far ahead and those plays you make end up working out for you, like that fire giant play, they aren't always correct. Just because something works out doesn't make it right. And in another game, if you don't recognize the fact that that was wrong, you might lose a game off of it. So it's really good to look back at things like that, recognize things that went well, but were actually, potential throws in the game and could have lost you the entire match from ahead.
So again, right now our goal is we have FG on 4 people. Maniac doesn't have it as he went down to the boulder. But we just want to push the towers again. As you can see, what we're doing right now is just trying to avoid the split push we know that NRG is doing. So we sent Maniac to the right, we sent Twig clearing the mid waves. So the only way that split push works out is if you hit the towers at the same time, really. And I think Maniac's actually gonna die here.
Yeah,
they're gonna try and split push, but we do gain a lot from it.
Yeah, that was a solid ult. He sure showed that wall he was boss.
I
But
mean,
yeah, you can kind of see that our team has done their homework on NRG, and we've been playing against them for a long time. In that we know exactly what they want to do from behind in both games. We know they want to split the map. They want to force us to, be in a disadvantaged situation on one side of the map and have to make difficult decisions by them split pushing these lanes. So we're well prepared for it. We lose Maniac in the process, but we'll pick up a tier 1 and a tier 2. And honestly, we're pretty okay with that trade, seeing as he didn't have FG anyway.
yeah, so it works out fine for us. It's like they could have contested that tier 2 tower. No one would have known what happened. It's definitely not the best scenario, but it's not the worst. It's pretty mediocre. We get what we came for. Maybe we could have done a bit more, but Maniac is up again now, and as you said, like Maniac didn't have Fire Giant, so we can keep pushing here. But as we talk about again, Energy wants to flip the map, and you can see it adapting right now. I think yeah, he might end up getting the tower.
I think he probably gets the tier 1 here. Oh
Uh,
no, he decides against going for it. I think he might think they don't have vision on our entire team, so it's smart of him to disengage here. He doesn't have vision in the duo side jungle, and they can't see us quite yet in the solo side jungle. So he doesn't have the knowledge necessary to stay and split push that tower down. And you see us, because we know Mercury's over there, we hard commit to this solo tier 2, picking it up and putting out the Batzel onto the Khepri, killing him again.
yeah, she can see pretty good fight. That was just hardcore zoning while we got the tower. We have Fire Giants, so we can just pretty much blow up Demi, who actually builds really squishy in this game. He doesn't really have too much pot. He's relying on his movement speed, and if he's unbat solid, it's irrelevant pretty much. So we can't do a lot. So we can actually just get a really favorable fight. Now this might be a bit greedy. Quick, just wake
Just
out.
about gets away with
But you
it,
see
yeah.
how I'm just race carrying around with this Amaterasu, just being everywhere pretty much, and everyone doing really well, really good Susold, Cabrakan doing great with the walls when he's not walling the walls, and good battle, good skills, skill shot pressing
Yeah.
down the flex from Atarax as well. Just a lot of really good things happening.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, so Emil has the rage here. Was this old rage or was that rage in his current incarnation? I think it
Uh,
might have been actually.
yeah, I think so.
Man. So Nate got a lot of flack for picking it up on Jingwei. Not that I
Oh,
agree with
that's
the
the
decision necessarily, but
yeah. Oh, let's talk about this real fast, Hayzer.
oh, this is
So,
sick.
so Maniac walls himself in because he knows the whole enemy team is there. Look at how much time Maniac is able to buy. We're able to rotate in right here, and as you can see, like Prime barely gets out. I'm able to go and peel from time. Maniac gets out. We get a shoot Amaterasu ult form and Amaterasu ult into a Bats ult, and we just completely wrecked him in the rest of this fight.
Yeah, that was outstanding from Prime there as well. Despite being so low, he snuck in from the side and threw that all over the wall, which was just really, really good. We just run them all down one by one, and the F6 comes out. We couldn't believe it.
And this random vote, and we're like, we beat Energy. What happened? And this was really the momentum we needed to take on the rest of the season. Spoiler alert: if you haven't watched all of the SPL games, which you probably have, hopefully, you're gonna have a pretty flawless season with only one loss. But from now on, but this was just such a boost in morale. And I think one thing I wanted to talk about as well, which I never got to mention, is we have the right ideas, but what we are really surprisingly good at doing is actually practicing the idea and then executing the idea in SPL, which is something that definitely surprised me coming in. I thought it would take a lot more time to get the team that you needed to like execute kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a little bit nervous coming in with a new roster into the season, not knowing how we would all gel together, not knowing how long it would take us to get over, the small mistakes that you have as a team in terms of shot calling and in terms of, building up team comps that you can play as well together. That you have a bit of cohesion between the players and the gods. But for us, it came fairly naturally, as you can see in the first 2 games of our SPL careers with this new roster.
So on that note, I'm gonna call it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching episode 2 of overview. And obviously it says right here, it was the SPL Spring Break with 1 AU, NRG with us, game 2. And go ahead, like, subscribe, comment if you have anything, any questions, anything you think we can improve on doing, any constructive criticism. We are always open to that. Again, Hayzer, thank you so much for joining me. So see you next time. Out.